Good morning. Welcome to Northman's Morning Devotional with Gary and AJ. Grab your coffee and let's start off the day right.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee and Devotional. I'm Gary and this is my buddy AJ. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, brother?
I'm well.
Another beautiful day, right? So this morning we have John out of the words of Jesus, and we have Hebrews out of the Man of Honor. So what would you like to read this morning, brother?
Whichever one, go for whatever. You take whatever you want to do.
Okay. I will go with the words of Jesus. All right. So extraordinarily ordinary. Extraordinarily ordinary. I like it. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you, which is John 13:15. These comparative commands appear often in the New Testament. If I, you should too. The reason for this is simple. A follower does what the leader does. Otherwise, they're not a follower. Sometimes it feels like people think there are two types of Christians. One group consists of ordinary, everyday people, while the other is made up of disciples of Jesus, the more committed ones. That's a serious mistake. There's only one kind, followers of Christ. There are no generic types. You are either a follower or not. If you say you are a follower of Jesus, you must do what he does. Followers don't live a life in contrast to the one they follow. They can't. They don't want to. So I kind of take a couple of things from that, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it.
So I sneezed in the middle of it, so I got to read it again.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Sure.
My morning
That's
sneeze
okay.
there.
Well, so I can go with it. So
Hold on.
I
Oh,
set an
go.
example for you. You set an example, so you should do as I've done for you. And it also talks about the fact that there's only one kind of Christian. There's the follower of Jesus, and that's what there is. And what I can say to that is that it's true. If you follow Jesus, then you follow Jesus. I do share my misconception on the idea of people that just show up for Sunday church just because it's something they're supposed to do. That to me isn't a follower of Jesus. That's not following. That's just doing something because it's something that you think you're supposed to do. And I think there's a difference there. And in the idea of this passage, what I'm taking from it is just like with the brotherhood, we do our best to lead by example. We try to make sure that the life that we exhibit and the things that we do is the life that others watch, the others get to see, they get to learn from, so that they can go out and also live that life. Just like we follow Jesus and our heart is set to live as he lived.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I got out of it. All leadership, whether it's with Jesus, a teacher, a father, a mentor, they have to set that example and they have to show up consistently with that example or they're not going to be followed. If you show up consistently, setting the right example, setting the bar high, obviously not too high that I can't attain it, that is the man that I'll follow. So, and that's the man that I try to be every day. I try to be consistent every day. So I changed mine around. I can't read this King James stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So
I'm getting caught up with King James Version. I don't blame you. It does catch people up.
So for the other devotional book, the Man of Honor, today is be the man who asks others to pray for him, and it's Hebrews 13 verse 18. You see a man asking for a prayer while confidently saying, "We have a clear conscience, desiring to act honorably in all things." That's a man who is doing the inner work. We have a clear conscience, desiring to act honorably in all things. So that is a man who's doing the inner work.
Yeah,
if you are trying to have a clear conscience, and really look inward, that's where the work starts.
Yeah. And another good thing to that, there's
And
no
good morning
greater
to Joel.
challenge.
Well, I guess we're online.
All right. Good morning, Joel. There's no greater, where is it? Evil loves a good challenge. And there's no greater challenge than a man ready to accomplish great things for God. And if you think about that in the other aspect of things too, even outside of religion, right? Lots of times when we start to really put that work in, and we've discussed this through the series of podcasts that we've been on, through the rebuilds, through the destruction of a man, all the way through the rebuilds, you get to that point where you think you're kind of at the top and you think that you need to stop. You can stop doing the work, excuse me. And that's the point when things start to fall apart because your old ways start to sink back in. And when you think of it from a Christian standpoint, it's the same idea. When you get to that high point, that's when evil really starts to set in. And all of that negativity sits on your shoulder and is drawing you like, oh, you don't need to work out today. You don't need to do your men's work today. Oh, you don't need to go to work today. You can just sit around and lay on the couch and do nothing. And that is where they both line up so well. It just goes to show you how important understanding the Bible really is in life, really understanding how to live like Jesus. Because if you can understand to live like Jesus and understand to follow that direction, then you understand how to live an amazing life as a man, live a healthy life as a man, and live a good life unto others, which is what we teach in the men's group is all about how to be that better man, how to have that solid foundation that's built on yourself and Jesus. And that's what it all comes down to. Even for the people who join the brotherhood or come into Northman coaching that aren't believers. Not going to force our beliefs on anybody. It's not for us to do. It's for us to just give you the information. You choose what you want to do with it. Just like any of the work that we give to you. The work is there. You have to choose whether or not to put it in. But whether or not you follow the religious side of things or not, that is entirely up to you. But if you want to be a good man, you've got to follow that system. That is the truth. That system is what builds your foundation. It's what builds your values. It's what builds you as a man, and not necessarily, like I said, not doesn't have to be the idea of thinking the Christian way. It's just the way. You need your foundation. It needs to be strong. It needs to be built on a rock. It needs to have good direction. It needs to have good values. And you want to lead by example, which was another one of our podcasts just a few weeks ago. What the idea of what you want your legacy to be. What do you want your children to say about you when your children are out in the world and they say, my dad is? Finish the sentence for yourself. Ask yourself that question. What do you really think your children say at the end of that sentence?
Yep, exactly. So I was looking at both of these actually, and so the one from Hebrews is talking about praying for us, and the one from Matthew is setting the example. So one is in believing, and one is in acting. So the two of them together both have integrity, accountability, action, and honor. And if you put those together, that is the men's group. That is what we achieve to make every man, to make him, having to help him have integrity, hold him to a higher standard for his accountability, his honor, his action. So these two together are actually, they go really well for the men's group.
Yeah, they really
And
do.
the men's group is our school, SKOOL, and that's Northman Coaching School. So check that out if you guys want to join. We have 4 meetings a week, 3 check-in meetings, and 1 longer meeting. So tonight is the bridge.
We have our motivated men's group where it gets deep. The questions get real, the conversations get real, and that's when you start to get down to the root of what's going on in life and the work that you're setting yourself out to do and
Mhm.
how to achieve it. And that is what it's all about. So guys, come and check us out. Go to northmancoaching.com, go up to the resources tab and click on the Northman Brotherhood. Go in and get your first week for free. Come in, check us out, see what we're all about. Or, like I said, you can go to northmancoaching.com as well if you're looking for one-on-one coaching. And there's a 60-minute free coaching call with Gary. Gary's got one spot or 2 spots available. He's got 2 spots available right now. Take advantage of it while it's there. Believe me, it will transform your life. That is the truth. It is transferring many lives. And if you want to see that, take the 7 days for free. Come into the brotherhood and you can see what it's all about, and you'll see where your life can go. All the way from the youngest man in our group that's 22 years old and starting his journey to a 73-year-old man. It
73.
just goes to show that the work can always be done. It's never too late.
Never too late.
One part that I've learned about this journey is probably the most important part. It's that the work never stops. You have to keep putting that work back in every day. Otherwise, that's that evil or that, the old you tugging on your shoulder, trying to pull you back in the other direction.
Sit on the
So
couch.
you always put that work in. Yeah. Yeah,
Good.
just take the day off today. It's all right. Yeah. You got to put that work in, guys.
We
Do yourself the favor.
when you make a purchase like buying a car, you get to go for that test drive. And I love that because we do that. If you want to be coached, take that free hour. See what I have to offer. See if we're a good fit. See if we're not. See if I can't set you up with somebody else. We have plenty of people in the circle here. The group, that's more of a commitment thing. If you're afraid of commitment, do the week and quit. Fine, be a quitter. It's all good. But try the week out. Like I said, we give you enough test drives because we want to help you. And I'm gonna tell you right now that every man in this group, he owns his life. He does not make excuses. He's not hiding behind anything. And if he is, he comes out automatically. It's not like hide and seek where I got you, I found you, I caught you. He comes out automatically. He's like, you know what? Let me be vulnerable. Let me be honest and tell you what's really going on. Because he's going to start living a clean life. If he doesn't already, he's going to be honest. He's going to be open. And the accountability. If you don't have the accountability by Friday, you will have accountability because Friday is our accountability and our gratitude day. And we're going to talk about that. And we talk about where you could have been accountable, where you were accountable. And it's not like we're saying bad. You weren't accountable. You blamed somebody else. We just want to ask you, where were you accountable and where can you be accountable so you can call yourself out? So
'Cause that's what
and
it's all about.
all the senior guys, we lead by example. You know, we are like John 13:15. You know, we set that example. We lead that way.
Right. Because that's the idea. The idea is to always help your brother. But you should always be working to be a leader. You should always try to lead others. Always. That's the idea of life. You give back to life. I can assure you, when you give nothing to life, you will get nothing back out of it. If you don't put the energy into the world, the energy won't come back into you. But the more that you do put that energy in, you will rapidly see your life change. That's one thing that I can absolutely say. If you spend the next several years of your life sitting on your couch and doing nothing and giving nothing to this life, nothing to this world, and nothing to anyone but your negative self because you have gone through a divorce or a breakup, or you've lost a loved one, or you were in an industrial accident like me, whatever the circumstances are, if you lay around on that couch and you give nothing to this world, I promise you, nothing but shit will continue to come your way. And there will be nothing but bad feelings consistently. Taking the day off does sound good, though. Great,
Didn't mean to hit
Joe.
that button.
That is funny. I like that. I'm happy to know that you can do that. That's actually really good because for the idea of the
I think he
Sunday
was talking about what we said
podcast.
about the voice creeping back up, saying sit back on the couch, take the day off, don't do the men's work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I didn't know that we could actually pop them up like that,
Neither did
which
I.
I wonder if that pops up on the live feed. I'd be interested to
It
know
does
that
say
because
that.
if
The
it
show on
did,
stream. That's the other one. Nothing to
nothing to
lose, everything to
lose,
gain.
everything to gain. That's right.
Joel, thanks
I
for
like
helping us out,
that.
brother. It's good to be
Yeah,
back live again.
it is. It
Anyway,
is the most thing
we're
about.
at the 15-minute
All right,
mark. I have to get
guys.
ready for work here, and I got to get the
Have
kid
a
ready to
great
go.
day.
You guys have a
God
wonderful
bless.
day.
Keep on trucking.
Keep
We'll
on
see
trucking.
you
Check us out
tomorrow.
tonight. If you want to join tonight, it's free for you tonight if you're joining. And it is the bridge. We talk about where you're going, where you are, where you're going, and in terms of bridges, what is your plan to get where you're trying to go? So you guys have a good day. Enjoy your Wednesday,
Have a
and we'll
great
see
day,
you
everyone.
tomorrow. Have a good one.
7 days, no obligation, just 7 days for an opportunity to make yourself a better man. Divorce, hardships, we all have or are going through it. You are not alone. Join the Brotherhood. Northman Coaching on School. Stop by today and begin the journey. Shoulder to shoulder, brick by brick. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. You are worth it. Join today.